Coming up on Mountain News this morning, the latest on a Wolfe County bus crash that left several students shaken up. And we hear from the son of one of the fallen officers from a deadly Floyd County shooting last summer.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Well, good morning, y'all. It's almost 5 o'clock here on this Friday morning. Man, we made it to Friday. Let's take it over to Brandon for a look at our forecast this morning. And Brandon, what is it? Like in the 40s almost in some areas this morning?
Well, it's 40s and 30s right now.
Yeah.
So again, a little chilly out there this morning. Haven't been out in a little bit, but it was a little chilly when I was coming in last night. So again, just be aware of that as you're heading out the door this morning. Jackets will be needed. Let's take a look at our temperatures this morning. Again, 30s and 40s, just a few 40s, kind of similar to yesterday. I think we'll drop into the 30s for everybody by the time the newscast ends at 7. 41 Prestonsburg, Pikeville, Manchester as well, also down toward Jacksboro. 43 in Harlan is our warm spot. I'll get those words in the right order in my brain here in just a little bit, but everybody else is in the 30s. This one looks like 34. Double checking here. 34 in Irvin and Somerset, the cold spots this morning across our region. Let's go to the coffee meter today. We're going to be seeing a normal day to a little extra. And as you head out the door, you're going to see a few clouds, you're going to see some sunshine, and you're going to see cooler temperatures. We were in the 50s yesterday. I think we only get into the mid-40s this afternoon. Dakota?
All right, Brennan, thank you. Well, officials are still trying to figure out what led to a school bus crash in Wolfe County yesterday. Now, we are told 9 students and the driver were on the Middle Kentucky Camp Head Start bus at the time. No serious injuries were reported. Leaders with the school tell us all of the children left the scene with their parents. And we'll hear more from some of those parents in our 6 a.m. half hour. Earlier this week, we first told you about a second lawsuit against the Magoffin County School Board and bus driver. Now, we are now taking a deeper look into it. A mother of 2 students and an 18-year-old student filed the lawsuit Wednesday. Well, the suit is against the school board, the bus driver, the former and current superintendents, and Fedaya Foods, the owner of convenience store where the driver also works. The suit claims driver Wanda Bailey did not have enough rest to safely drive. It claims she worked at a late shift at Speedy's in Salyersville the night before, which did not end until midnight or later. She then started her bus route at 6:15. The Lexington Herald later reports the lawyer who filed the lawsuit says a number of students believe she may have fallen asleep at the wheel. The crash happened in November on Kentucky 40. 18 students were on board. All suffered injuries, some critical, including the bus driver. In other education-related news, and on a more positive note, more students in Letcher County will return to their home school damaged in last year's flooding next week. Whitesburg Middle School students will be back in their building beginning on Monday. Officials have made the announcement on social media Thursday. Students from the school have been sharing a building with Cowan Elementary since the flood. Well, police in our region are excited to get the High Five Road Traffic Safety Project going after years of data showing what they call scary numbers. Well, the project goes beyond routine traffic stops and into community outreach with the goal of educating Kentuckians about seatbelt safety. Officials with the Kentucky Transportation Cabinet estimate 82% of people thrown from a car in a crash are killed. Perry County Sheriff Joe Ingles says he hopes for a brighter future.
We hope to look down the road here in a couple of years and say, this program saved lives. And that's what we want to do. We want to look back and say, this is where we started to turn things around and we saved lives. If it saves one life, trust me, it's going to be worth it.
Well, officials say simply buckling up could save your life. We are hearing from the son of a deputy killed in a Floyd County ambush in July for the first time since his death. Floyd County Deputy William Petrie was recently posthumously recognized as the Sheriff's Deputy of the Year by the Kentucky Sheriff's Association. Sheriff John Hunt and his department accepted the award in Petrie's honor, then held a get-together of their own to give the piece to Petrie's family. His son Chase says the award and the community have shown him an important truth about his father and his legacy.
Although he's not able to see it now, all the people he's impacted over the years, I've got messages from people in Paducah and different places all across Kentucky that have had run-ins with my dad.
Well, a banner was hung at the sheriff's office on Thursday celebrating Petrie's award, as well as a banner for the 2022 Sheriff of the Year, which was awarded to Hunt. A pilot program passed last year by the General Assembly is now in use in one eastern Kentucky county. We stopped by Letcher County to see how leaders there are carrying out the program Senate Bill 90 introduced. The Behavioral Health Conditional Dismissal Pilot Program began October 1st, 2022.
So the dismissal program will allow people with substance use disorders, behavioral health issues, mental health disorders to get treatment in lieu of incarceration.
A person who is charged with a nonviolent crime must complete the program of mental health treatment along with vocational counseling and training before their charges are dropped.
People who gain access to treatment in lieu of incarceration generally will succeed, and they will give back to that community in which they're from. No longer are they a drain on our economy and on our communities, that now they're contributors. They become parents and loved ones and family members.
Letcher County District Judge Kevin Mullins is one of the driving forces behind the program's introduction into the county.
In Kentucky, we've learned over the years that an attempt to incarcerate our way out of these problems, to just send people to county jails or to the state prison system, just simply didn't work. And the reason we knew it didn't work was because often upon release they would return to jail.
Judge Mullins says Letcher County can be the example to the rest of the state. He says education and determination helped them introduce the pilot program.
What I hope for is in 5 years, or even sooner than 5 years, that treatment goes to a much more family approach.
Hoping that family approach turns lives around. In Letcher County, Dakota Makris, WYMT Mountain News. Well, the program in Letcher County officially started on January 1st. Well, thank you so much for getting your Friday morning started with us here on Mountain News this morning. Still on the way. While the city by the bay typically sees its fair share of rain, officials say one recent system broke some long-time records.
And some rain chances could be back on their way to our region by this weekend, but they are not expected to be historic like the ones out west. I'll have the latest forecast in about 3 minutes.